Hello friends, welcome to another lecture of electronic commerce. In this class also we will be discussing about secure electronic transaction protocols. So today we will discuss about the SEPP. From here onwards I will pronounce SEP protocol. So this is actually a significant protocol because it was a forerunner of SET protocol. So almost all of the rules, the specifications and the design of SET was derived or inherited from SEP protocol. Let's examine what is SEP. Okay, so this is a protocol combinedly developed by IBM, Netscape, GTE, Cybercash and MasterCard, and this was absolutely free. So it was open, vendor neutral, non-proprietary and license free specification for securing online transactions. Okay, now we will just specify about what was the major business requirements that is addressed by SEP protocol. So it enabled confidentiality of payment information. Also it ensured integrity of all payment data transmitted, and it provides authentication for both the user and the merchant. It provides authentication that card holder is a legitimate owner of the card account, and it also authenticates that the merchant can actually accept MasterCard branded card payments. Okay, and it also authenticates that this merchant should be a member of some of the financial institution that is being certified. Okay, so uh, next we will very narrowly discuss the briefly what is SEP protocol. So SEP assumes that the card holder and the merchant have been communicating for a long time in order to generate a purchase order. Okay, so it can be done in two modes. The first mode, the process may be conducted via www or a web browser. So that is the online mode. Second mode, it could be also done by operations performed through the use of email via the user's review of a paper or CD-ROM catalog. So this is two kind of offline documents that is sent or received between user and the merchant in order to do the transactions. So that is called offline mode. So these two modes were both of these modes were supported by SEP, and that was an advantage in early 90s or 80s. Okay, moving on. So that was brief process of SEPP. Now we will discuss about the detailed architecture of ZEP. Okay, so you can see on the top left corner there is certificate management system, CMS. So CMS is a forerunner of certifying authority, CA, in SET protocol. In SET we have seen certifying authority. That certifying authority was derived from this concept of certificate management system. So also there is a card holder on the bottom left corner, that is no one but the user. Also there is a merchant. You can see that the network or ISP means the actual internet or the internet service provider. Okay, also there is one more thing that is seen on the top right corner, that is called bank network. Okay, now let's see who is a major role players of this SEPP architecture. So card holder. So card holder is the authorized holder of a bank card, and he also should be registered to perform electronic commerce. So think of us, think of ourselves. We have a bank account and we are legitimately using it. We are authorized to use it. Also we have registered to multiple electronic commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. So that the card holder. Obviously there is merchant. We can reflect that merchant with Amazon or Flipkart, who is actually delivering or selling product or services to us. So he should be able to deliver or send, sell product or services, and also he should be a legitimate seller. He should be authorized by some of the institutions also. Now, the third party is the acquirer. We know that acquirer is a financial institution or bank that is associated with the merchant to help the merchant. Okay, so that is the acquirer. And the certificate management system, so it can be reflected with the certifying authority. So this CMS is able to deliver, able to create and distribute certificates for the rest of the role players. That means the card holder, that is a user, or the merchant or the acquirer, they all get digital certification from certificate management system. And one more thing that is important here is banknet. So it is a network or some interface needed in order to communicate between this CMS, acquirer, and the issuer. So the issuer is there, the acquirer bank is there, also there is CMS, someone to certify this acquirer and the issuer. So we need some interface for between these three role players. So that is provided by the banknet. Okay, so these are the major role players. Now moving on, we have now you can see these are the main messages that is being conducted between the merchant and the customer. So between the customer and the seller, you have these 8 messages exchanged between them. The first 5 is with online mode, and the total 8 will be there in the online mode. The first 5 is with the offline mode. Okay, so the last 3, that means initiate, invoice, and purchase order response with purchase order status, that is specific for online mode. The last 3 is specific for online mode, and total 8 are supported in online mode. The first 5 is supported in offline mode. So I am not going to elaborate it over here. I will just give you the diagram and I will explain it. So I am going to detail in detail. I will explain the SEPP process. So on the left you can see the customer, and on the top right you can see the merchant, and one more role player here is the acquirer bank. Okay, so first and foremost, the buying card holder begins the transaction by sending the merchant an initiate message. So initiate message contains the card holder's request for buying. So the merchant responds with a invoice message, and this invoice message contains information that is about the validation of goods or services that is being requested by the customer, and also it contains validation about the transaction information. So 2 type of validation is being sent back with the invoice. And now after receiving invoice, the buying card holder prepares a purchase order request. That you can see the PO request is prepared by the customer, and this PO request contains goods and service order validation, and also the buying card holder's payment instruction. So this payment instruction is not handled to the merchant. It is in encrypted form, and it could be decrypted only by the acquirer bank. Okay, acquirer. And now the merchant receives this purchase order request and he processes it. So he formats an authorization request after processing PO request. So upon receiving PO request, he processes PO request, and then he makes an authorization request which is sent from the merchant to the acquirer bank. Now after receiving this authorization request, the acquirer responds to the merchant with an authorization response. Okay, so now if the card information that is provided by the customer, if it is legitimate, if it is okay, then that authorization response will be a success. Okay, so after receiving this authorization response, the merchant will respond to the buying card holder with a purchase order response. So he have to be informed. At least we need to be informed about what happened. Okay, later the card holder may initiate. After some time, the card holder may ask for a purchase order inquiry. What is about my purchase order? And for that particular inquiry, the merchant will respond with a purchase order inquiry response. Okay, that is the thing that is happening later. Immediately after a successful authorization response, that merchant will inform purchase order response to the customer, and at that or parallelly he will send the actual product or service to the customer. If it is a product, if it is a tangible product, it will be logistically sent to the customer. If it is a non-tangible product, that means a service or an e-product, it will be directly provided to the customer also. So this is the detailed process of SCP or SEP, and in a step by step manner I have given it in detail. So you can pause this video and you can make a note of this. So this is the 10-step process that I have just explained. Okay, make a note of it, and also you can draw these two pictures. One is about the architecture and other is about the detailed SCPP process. So that will make your answer. And thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.